What's up, guys? It's your boy Darskin, and today we're going to be talking about Frigg. If you guys don't know, Frigg is the next banner coming, so I wanted to do this overview as soon as possible. So if you guys don't know, Frigg is an ice elemental unit. She is a DPS, and she doesn't have much shatter or charge, but it is pretty decent considering she has 8 of each. Moving on to her weapon effects, she has Ice Shell, like all ice units have, where whenever fully charged weapons will freeze the target for 2 seconds, leave them frostbitten for 6 seconds. Breaking the ice shell causes additional damage equal to 151% of attack. While frostbitten, the target's weapon charge rate is reduced by 50%. So she has the same thing like all ice units. But then moving on, she has a second passive called Frozen Domain. After using the weapon skill Winter, a large ice field will be placed at your position, lasting 25 seconds. Inside the ice field, dodges will not be consumed while using Frigg's weapon, and gain the effect Frozen Domain 1 when using ice weapons, increasing ice attack by 15% and shatter by 25%. So, if you guys didn't know, her best team on release will be Tsubasa Meryl, and this is why. The ice attack will be increased. They're all going to be buffing each other's attack and everything like that. So, it's going to be really, really good to run a mono ice team. Keep in mind, the best use of her, like to get the most DPS, is going to be her dash attack. It does a ton of damage, and you can do it over and over and over inside her ice field. Moving on to what she does. As you can see right here, starting with her normal attack, while on the ground, she uses Balmong to do 5 attacks. Now, each attack has a little bit of knockback, and then the last attack will knock the enemy down. Moving on to her air attack, she does 5 consecutive attacks in the air as well. Her volley slash, if you use her hold attack mid combo, she will do like an uppercut to take the enemy into the air. Now moving on to her helix cut, if you guys press her basic attack in the air and you hold it, she will do a spiral down spin. Her dodge attack, for a short time after dodging, if she uses a basic attack, she will do multiple cuts. Now, like I said, inside of her ice field, she can do this over and over because it doesn't consume the dashes. Her skill, Winter, slashes the time and space around itself, causing a total of certain amount of damage with floating and knock-up effects. No damage during skill release, and the cooldown is 30 seconds. Now moving on to her discharge, when the weapon's fully charged or in Fantasia, switching from another weapon to this weapon clears its negative effects, so it cleanses. Sprint forward to attack, briefly controlling the surrounding enemies, then launch a large scale slash, knocking the hit target into the air. As you guys can see, Frigg is a very fast-paced DPS type of character. She looks really, really insane. She reminds me of my favorite character from DMC, which is Virgil. If you guys don't know, Virgil's been my favorite character since like the beginning of Devil May Cry. So it's really cool that we get to, you know, have a character like that in the game here. Moving on to her advancements, I'll tell you up front right now, her best advancements are the first one and the last one. So if you guys were going to be going for anything, the best places to stop is the first one, the third one, or the last one. Now, obviously, you know, if you're not a whale, you can't really choose where you stop. But if you guys were going to be choosing, it's going to be one of those 3. But going into the first advancement, gain 1 frostiness point every time you receive, or it says receive, but it means deal damage, right? Gain 1 frostiness point every time you deal certain amount of damage in the frost domain. Up to 10 frost points can be accumulated. When frost domain ends, the frostiness points times frost attack times 95% of blast damage will be dealt to all enemies in the frost domain. After leaving the frost domain, lose 1 frostiness point every 3 seconds. So as you guys can see, every time you deal damage inside the ice domain, you will stack up a frost point. And now after the domain ends, you will do, you know, that many frost points times frost attack times 95% to all the enemies that were in the frost domain. Moving on to our second star, increase the current weapon's base HP growth by 16%. Nice. Moving on to the third star, increase frostiness limit to 15 instead of 10. When using discharge skills of frost weapons in the frost domain, deal damage equal to 25% of frost attack, current frostiness plus 5 to all targets in the frost domain. So this again goes on to how you want to mainly run her with ice units, so it's going to be really good there. Moving on to the 4-star, increases current weapons base attack growth by 32%, you know, usual. Then the 5-star, shattering shields using frost weapons in the frost domain will freeze the target for 2 seconds and cause frostiness points x frost attack, you know, times 35% of additional damage. If the target cannot be frozen, double the additional damage dealt. So once again, going on to the mono ice team, if you are using, you know, ice weapons, i.e. anybody with shatter that's a frost unit like Meryl, you will be doing extra damage, you will freeze them, and if you can't freeze them, you will do double additional damage. Moving on to the 6-star, reaching 15 frost points while inside the ice field will grant the additional effect Frozen Domain 2. When using ice weapons, increase ice attack by 25%. So if you were to get up to the 6-star, you're going to be increasing the ice attack even further. So once again, this just goes into mono ice team, and she's going to be buffing so much damage when it comes to the ice team. So if you guys are looking to run a full ice comp, she is somebody you should be looking into. And also on top of that, I don't know if you're a whale or not, but if you guys are going for dupes, like I said, the first dupe is a really good one. The 6th dupe is really good as well. The 3rd dupe is good, but it's not as good as the 1st or the 6th. So if you guys were looking to go for something, it would be the 1st, 3rd, or 6th one. If you guys want to look at the upgrade materials, this is what you would need. I already have a decent amount of this stuff, so I'm safe, fortunately, because I can't get any nanofibers, which I needed for my Huma. But anyway, these are the upgrade materials if you want to get those now, which I recommend start getting those now. Recommended matrices are going to be some 2-piece Samir, 2-piece Crow, or 4-piece Frigg, or 4-piece Sakifua, which is not in the game, so you can't get that right now. Or, you know, if you don't have anything, you can do 3-piece Sobek. Looking at her Simulacrum trait, the 1200 increases frost attack by 1.5% every 3 seconds upon entering battle, stacks up to 10 times, lasts for 5 seconds. Now, it says lasts for 5 seconds, but it says stacks up to 10 times, you know, in battle. So I assume the last for 5 seconds is after you leave combat. I would assume after you leave combat, it lasts for 5 seconds. So if you don't get back in combat in 5 seconds, it will reset. Moving on to the 4000, increases the frost attack by 2.4% every 3 seconds, stacks up to 10 times, lasts for 5 seconds. In addition, gain hyper body and become immune to control effects in the frost domain. So anytime she uses her skill inside that frost domain, she will not be able to you know, get crowd controlled. So that's really good in my opinion. And then if you guys want to get her any gifts to, you know, max this out, all of these gifts are really good. She doesn't have any plus 80s, but she does have a lot of plus 60s. So there you guys go as far as that. But anyways, that is Frigg. I hope you guys enjoyed the overview. That's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys did in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.